Hello, everyone. Here we are on the Higher Self Expo Facebook and YouTube page with a very, very special guest today, one of our honorable speakers at the Higher Self Expo, Where Science Meets Spirituality, coming up on the 17th and 18th July. And today we have Dr. Ervin Laszlo with us, who is, for me, and I'm sure for you as well, a legend really in this field. So it is an absolute joy to be able to have a short chat with you, Dr. Laszlo. Thank you for accepting our invitation. Could you please present yourself for our audience?
Tanya, first of all, it's very nice to chat with you and to be on this program. You're doing a beautiful job. Okay, I don't like to talk about myself, but I'll try to say a few words. I'll just mention that my ambition is to live up to who I am. We are supposed to be Homo sapiens. A sapiens is one who knows, one who's a knowledge, hopefully also who has some wisdom. So my ambition is to try to live up to that. And I have been doing that through various ways. Looking at science, looking at spirituality, looking at music. I was coming from music originally, and so whatever I do, I try to find meaning behind it, and also what I can communicate. If I find something that interests me, I assume that it will interest others. So with this philosophy, I ended up being interested in a lot of things. So I've been writing a lot of things. I've actually, over 100 books have appeared under my name and several hundred studies and papers. And I'm doing podcasts and writing further things now. I have 4 books coming out this year alone. And I'm running an institute, a research institute on researching, developing the new paradigm in science, but in society as well. So a lot of activities going on, but these are exciting times, and to live up to those times, we have to not spare ourselves and do our best. And I'm trying to be a positive part. I'm trying to be a part of the solution and not part of the problem.
And you've done such fantastic work throughout your life that I can imagine it's not easy to pinpoint a thing that you can really say I did this or I did that, because it's so extensive. But basically within the field of science and spirituality, what is your greatest passion? What really interests you the most, and that has produced more sharing from you?
Well, I can give you an idea of that. I'm going to publish in early October a little autobiography, which is called simply, the main title is My Journey. My Journey. But the subtitle tells you more about this. The subtitle is A Life in Quest of the Purpose of Life. So I've been looking for, and I am still looking for finding that there is a higher meaning or deeper meaning, if you like. Life is not just one dark thing after another. It's not a meaningless jumble of days and events, but there is something unfolding, something that is meaningful, where we can contribute something. We can evolve ourselves and help other people also to find their self and move on higher. So higher self is in a way a purpose of my life and my existence has been that. The deeper meaning that you can discover through a higher self.
That is why that's why we're so overjoyed that you accepted our invitation, because from all that we've seen that is your life journey, it is like you are just the perfect person to come and share exactly on a conference with this name, Higher Self Expo. can you share just a snippet, a peek into what you will be expanding on during the expo on the 18th of July?
Well, I'm not pre-programming things. I like to talk spontaneously. I think then the ideas come. I'd like to talk to the topic of this meeting. It's a remarkable initiative. I'd like to talk and show that actually when we are going deeper into yourself, you are reaching spiritual dimensions. Spirituality is not something separate, going on a different track. It's actually the same development. It's a higher development. Spirituality, intuition, insight, these are all essential elements of our life, and essential elements that also, if you want to share what we have come across in our life, we have to turn to that. The great spiritual masters have been highly evolved human beings. And this is, it doesn't matter if they were scientists or prophets or what they, or artists or poets rather, whatever they were doing, it doesn't matter. The spirituality comes through in whatever you're doing, if you allow it to come, because it's inside, and then you can communicate on a higher or deeper level. So that's I'm searching for that.
So they basically, sorry.
Go ahead. Yes.
So they basically have never been separate, science and spirituality.
No, it is specialization, altogether. Is an ill, is a disease. Because it cuts ourselves off. It says, I do this, never mind the rest. Expertise, you know what I'm saying? Expert is a very narrow definition. I'm good at this, and probably I don't understand anything. I don't care about the rest, Try to be somebody who can encompass a greater picture. That has always been my ambition. And since I came from music, I've been a concert pianist, a child prodigy already at the age of 9 and so on. Then that's always natural for me that I'm looking for a meaning, a whole picture. In music, a single tone doesn't have any meaning. Only the melody has. And the music, the melody and the rhythm and the harmony all have to come together. And then you have a work of music. If it's a great music, then it has a perfection. Every note is exactly what it should be. So this is, I'm looking for perfection in that way. Whatever I can do to move toward that, to find that how things hang together. It's a remarkably coherent, remarkable oneness universe. Remarkably integral universe. This we're recognizing more and more in the new physics and the new cosmology coming from the quantum sciences and the new biology. Nothing is separate. Nothing is entirely separated off. You can't say I take care of this, and I don't care what happens to the other side. We have to encompass it. Of course, there's a limit to what we can do in a lifetime, but at least we should have the basic ideas obviously clear in mind. We are not separate. We are not alone. And one thing is not separate from the other thing. What you are doing is part of a larger whole. And the larger whole has the meaning. The whole has the meaning.
Yes. So very true. And when put in that way, so gracefully, it would seem that it would be very simple for it to be understood all over the world by anyone. And the more that simplicity is shared, the better.
It is simple. The complications come when people don't understand what it is, and they try to explain one thing as though they could explain just one thing. You can't do one thing. The great ecologist Garrett Hardin said that, about a relationship to nature. You can't do one thing because you do one thing and all the other things follow also in the ecology. But also in our life together. You can't just do one thing. You can't just think of one thing. You have to keep the overall picture in mind. So you have to be a generalist, but not the old-fashioned generalist who knew a lot of things, little things about a lot of things, but very little about everything. You have to know a lot of things as being a base, an element, a context for the things that you're really interested in. The context always counts. The context is a whole. The context is not the part, So that's the principle I always try to live up to. That's why I'm writing systems philosophy, system thinking, integral thinking, the new paradigm in science, always looking at the overall picture.
That's what I was going to ask about system science, which is what you share about as well, is a great part of your work. So you've just answered my next question.
Well, I had a background in developing at the time when it was very revolutionary in the 1970s, 1980s, thinking in systems terms. It was considered philosophy and not science. But then, of course, we began to develop all the synthetic systems, the great human technological systems and information and communication systems, and we see how that actually the systems thinking is very much at home, very much a basis for understanding anything, not to understand it alone, understand it as part of the larger whole. That's the system.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Is there, like, from these 4 books that you are going to bring out this year, including your autobiography, and also for the body of work that you're sharing at the moment, is there anything that you would like to direct people towards that they can explore more about your work?
Well, the book that has been published in the spring, which is the last book that has already been actually published, is very much on this topic. It's reconnecting to the source. How can you reconnect to that larger universe of which you are a part, you see? So that's something that people can get. Another book that people can get, it has been published very recently by the same publisher, which is St. Martin's Press, Macmillan. This book is now called The Immutable Laws of the Akashic Field. And I'd like to talk about the person of the 18th, I'll tell something about that also, about how the universe is really an integral, self-communicating, coherent field in which you're embedded. And that's what we have to find. When we move to higher self, okay, then we have a higher vision, a greater vision, and we see that how all things are connected together. That's the meaning where you can find how things are hang together, because things do hang.
Yes, yes. And so people, if they go to your Laszlo Institute website, they can also access these most recent books.
Well, there is another site, which is Ervin Laszlo Books.
Okay.
All my books are listed there.
Ervin Laszlo Books. I will write it on the comments here so that people can find it as well. .com, right?
Yes.
Okay. Right. I just can't wait to hear more of your wisdom on Sunday. And actually, whenever I listen to you in documentaries and interviews or whatever, I'm always riveted because of the simplicity with which you share deep, deep wisdom that is so straightforward, so natural. Thank you very much, Dr. Laszlo.
Well, thank you for this chat. I enjoyed it very much. And congratulations as part of this great Expo initiative.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it as well. I will thank the people who have been here in this short chat and who will be watching later on. And please go onto the Higher Self Expo website and make your registration. This is the last week, the last leg of this expected wait until arriving at this expo, which will include 36 speakers from around the world, 24-hour editions starting in the US, going on to Australia, and then to Europe, broadcasting from Portugal. And we are really excited to be hosting this. This was created by Zane Daniel last year, and now this is the first time that it will be a 24-hour stream. We thank all of our speakers for being available and giving of their wisdom and time for free. So this is a free conference, though if you would like to donate for the upholding costs, we do invite the public that is enjoying this creation to please contribute with whatever you feel is just and fair. And see you very, very soon on the 17th and 18th of July. Cheers to all. Blessings. Thank you so much again, Dr. Laszlo. I will definitely be waiting for this moment. We have a lot of people here saying thank you. We have a friend here saying, love this gentleman. Thank you for your work. And blessings. So we have a lot of hellos and thank yous here from a lot of people who admire you for sure as much as I do. Thank you.
Okay. See you.
See you.